Yo, what is going on, guys? Evan Tanaka here, back with another video. And today's video is the new updated best defensive settings in NBA 2K22 Myteam right now. These settings are going to help you play way better defense and help you guys from corners dropping. If you guys know, sometimes players will drive in and then your corners will drop and they'll get wide open threes, and that is not good. So I'm going to show you guys a way to fix that and a bunch of other stuff to just play better defense in general. If you guys are new here, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe down below. I post 2 to 3 Myteam videos every single day and give you guys some of the best no money spent content, tips and tricks on the platform. And let's just go into a domination game and show you guys the best defensive settings. So guys, into the game here, you're going to want to come to your defensive settings. The first setting we're going to be talking about is going to be on ball pressure. Now, why you're going to put on smother? So you're going to put on smother, and the reason why is because when they have the basically this is for your CPU. When you're on balling, then of course you can smother or not smother if you want to. But when you're off balling and you're not on the ball handler, this is going to tell your CPU what to do. So we want the CPU to smother them. You have good enough defenders. You want them in their face, putting as much pressure on ball as possible. As you guys can see and read in the description, it's basically just saying, you know, they don't have as much space and you just want to pressure the ball as much to make them force turnovers, make them force bad passes, and maybe get some steals. Off ball pressure is pretty much the same thing, but you do not want to go and deny ball because then people can backdoor cuts and that type of stuff. So you want to put off ball pressure too tight. You still want them really close to the off ball, of course. You don't want them sagging off, right? You don't want to leave them because then it's going to be wide open in the corner. You want to put it on tight so they're super close, but not too close where they're, going to get backdoored. So you want to have this one on tight to help stay on the corners, because again, that is something that's going to help the corners from dropping, is this setting on tight. For on ball screen, so now when the opponent is running a screen and you're not on ball, the CPU is on ball. The reason why you're going to want to go over is because they want to shoot the ball around the screen. If somebody's calling a screen, they're going to go around the screen and they're going to want to shoot a 3. The reason you want to have this setting on go over is basically to stop them from coming around screens and just shooting wide open, because if you put a go under, they're just going to walk around screens and just shoot so many shots in your face and you're not going to be able to contest them. So this setting is going to be on go over. Your CPU is going to try to fight through that screen, get a bunch of bump steals and all that type of stuff. Next one you want to do is the same thing, but is for the center. You want the center to go over. You do not want the center to go under, because you want, as you guys can see in the positive, great against the use against shooters. That's basically what we want to use. That's basically what we want to do. Now, if you're versing someone who can't shoot, like who can't shoot in the game, a Shaq, a Moses Malone, maybe. If you're versing a center that can't shoot, you can definitely put go under on. But for most centers in the game that can shoot, you're going to want to put go over. It's going to help them for not shooting threes, basically. So these two settings are basically just to prevent 3-pointers. The reason why these two settings are on are basically just to stop them from shooting threes at a very high percentage. Now, the next two things we're going to talk about is going to be hedge and hedge center. So I'll give you guys a couple of options. A lot of ones that people run is going to be no hedge and no hedge. I personally run soft hedge and soft hedge, but I will give you guys the option. No hedge is still pretty good, and hard hedge. Those are the 3 best hedges in the game: is hard hedge, soft hedge, and no hedge. I personally run soft hedge. Basically what it's going to do is when they're going around the screen, if you guys don't know what hedge is in real life, I'll quickly explain it. So basically when they go around the screen, your center is going to step in front of the ball handler to kind of show, I'm here, you can't take the shot, and you're not going to drive. And it's going to give your ball handler, so your point guard, your shooting guard, whoever they're calling the screen with, the guy who's on ball, he's going to get time to go around this or go over the screen and get back to his point guard. So basically, I guess I could show you guys in game, but honestly, I can explain it. It's really easy. Basically, when the point guard goes around the screen, your center is just going to step out in front. It's called the soft hedge. Basically, just to stop them in their tracks, make them pick up the ball maybe, but just stop them and wait for your point guard or person on ball to get over that screen and come back and play defense on the point guard. So that's why I'm going to have soft hedge. If you go hard hedge, when the center comes to pop around the screen, they're going to really high, and basically they just do not want them to shoot the 3. But hard hedging is going to leave a lot of slips to be happening. So I want to put this on soft hedge, and I think you guys should definitely put on soft hedge. For stay attached, if you have this on auto or if you have this on no, basically what's going to happen is when they go around a screen, basically your players are just going to switch. So if their point guard goes around their point guard calls a screen from their point guard and their center, and you have your point guard and your center, basically what's going to happen is your point guard and center are going to switch. Now your center is going to be on the point guard, which is a mismatch, and then your point guard is going to be guarding their center, which is a mismatch, because they can either pass into the center, back you down, easy layup, or they can take that point guard, and let's say you got Yao Ming or a Shaq or even a D-Rob, guys who aren't the best defenders on the perimeter for a center, they can just take you off dribble, especially if they got a fast point guard like, Allen Iverson, or who's really fast, John Wall, the faster point guards in the game. they can just take you off dribble. So what you want to do is you want to put this on to yes, so your players will not switch when the opponent goes around the screen. Now post is you only really want to put post on, or only really need to put post on if your opponent is just mashing you to pieces, and you're going to want to put on 3-4 top. Basically, it's just, as you guys can see for the positive, it says pressures post catches and limits immediate paint success, but it says susceptible to baseline drives. We don't really care about that. We just want him to not get the ball into the paint, and we want to just force him out of the paint as much as possible. So if you guys are getting mashed a lot, or you're struggling in the post, put post onto 3-4 top, but you don't really have to do that. I don't put the setting on at all times. Off ball screen, you want to put this on to go over, especially if you notice somebody's running plays and they're doing a lot of off ball screens. You're definitely going to have off ball screen to go over. If you go under, literally they're just going to light you up with 3-pointers. They're just going to come around a screen, right, run a play, or come around, like run a floppy even, come around the screen, and they're going to be wide open. So you definitely want to have the setting to go over. You never want to have the setting to go under. So this one definitely go over to stop 3-pointers. Basically, this is all to stop 3-pointers, pretty much. Double team, I wouldn't necessarily put a double team on somebody. If you're maybe getting lit up by one opponent, like maybe his Curry's going crazy, his KD's going crazy, his Klay Thompson is going crazy, right? Then you can maybe double team him if you want. I just have it on manual. I don't really double team anybody unless I manually double team somebody. Switch rules off ball and pre-rotate. I don't touch that at all. Now this is the setting, guys, to help your corners from dropping. So if you notice that your corners drop when a person drives to the rim, you're going to want to put this onto no help and no help, and then no help. For screen help rules and drive help rules, these both want to be on no help. This will prevent your corners from dropping and help. That kind of stupid thing that happens is when their opponent drives in, they just get an easy wide open 3 in the corner, and it's very annoying to play against. So you definitely want to have those two onto no help. Next one is going to be dribble handoff. This one go over. Basically the same thing, but just a dribble handoff. Same thing for on-ball screens, right? You know how we have go over for everything. You never want to have you never want to have anything for go under. You always want to have something for go over. So go over, back screen, go over, down screen, go over, right? Flare screen, go over. Another really important one though is transition defense. Have this one to no threes. If you guys have ever noticed when someone's running in transition, like let's say you miss a shot, they grab the rebound and they're running in transition. If you guys have ever noticed that they just have wide open threes in the corner in transition, that's why, because you do not have this setting on. So you definitely want to put that on to help that. So now I'll give you guys some quick tips about offensive settings. My freelance is Hawk 2018. You can definitely run Bucks 2018 as well, but I personally run the Hawks 2018 freelance. Talking about coach settings, this is really important to have on as well. It'll be offensive defense for you guys. You're going to want to turn it off. If you guys don't turn it off, basically all the settings we just did, every couple possessions, the 2K CPU or the 2K, whatever you want to call them, they'll just switch it up. So basically the settings, you see how we put these defensive settings on, right? We have smother, we have tight, we have go over, we have soft edge, right? If you have this on offense and defense, every couple possessions, 2K is just going to mess your defensive settings up, and they're just going to reset and then change completely. So you want to have this to off. If you do not have this to off, your settings are going to be completely wrong. The next setting to help corners from dropping as well is turning your help defense all the way down to 0 on coaching sliders. And then for not coaching settings, controller settings, you want to have free throw timing to real player percentage. And then you want to have call for pick and roll versus fade onto manual. Just helps your pick and roll and fading a lot better in the game, I find. So yeah, guys, those are the best defensive settings in the game. Quickly go over them one more time. On-ball pressure, smother. Off-ball pressure, tight. On-ball screen, go over. On-ball screen, center, go over. Hedge, soft hedge. Head, center, soft hedge. Stay attached on yes. Post 3-4 top. Off-ball screen, go over. No double teams, no switch rules, no pre-rotate, drive help rules, no help, screen help rules, no help. We look at dribble handoff, go over, back screen, go over, down screen, go over, flare screen, go over, and then transition defense on no threes. The offensive settings is going to be freelance 2018, Hawks 2018, adapt the coaching engine onto off, coach sliders, help defense all the way down to 0, and then you can do some controller settings like a real player percentage for free throw, and then the manual for call for pick and roll and call for pick and roll versus fade. Put that onto manual. So guys, that is the best defensive settings in the game. You guys can definitely try them out and let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys did learn something from this video and enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.